Canimus surdis, replied the king, continuing the annotations in his Horace. Sire, replied the courtier, laughing, in order that he might seem to comprehend the quotation, your majesty may be perfectly right in relying on the good feeling of France, but I fear I am not altogether wrong in dreading some desperate attempt. By whom? By Bonaparte, or at least by his adherents. My dear Blacas, said the king, you with your alarms prevent me from working. And you, sire, prevent me from sleeping with your security. Wait, my dear sir, wait a moment, for I have such a delightful note on the pastor cum traheret. Wait, and I will listen to you afterwards. There was a brief pause, in which Louis XVIII wrote, in hand as small as possible, another note on the margin of his Horace, and then looking at the Duke with the air of a man who thinks he has an idea of his own, while he is only commenting upon the idea of another, said, Go on, my dear Duke, go on, I listen. Sire, said Blacas, who had for the moment the hope of sacrificing Villefort to his own profit, I am compelled to tell you that these are not mere rumors destitute of foundation, which thus disquiet me, but a serious-minded man, deserving all my confidence, and charged by me to watch over the South. The Duke hesitated as he pronounced these words. Has arrived by post to tell me that a great peril threatens the king, and so I hasten to you, sire. Mala ducis aui dumum, continued Louis XVIII, still annotating. Does your majesty wish me to drop the subject? By no means, my dear Duke, but stretch out your hand. Which? Whichever you please. There, to the left. Here, sire. All right. If you're having a hard time keeping track of things here, I have to admit, so am I. Partly because this is another one of those chapters that's really just testing my ability to pronounce things. But let's recap. Let's just pause for a moment and break down what's happening here, right? We've got Blacas, who is a servant to the king. In what capacity, I don't think we've quite figured out yet, but he is telling the king, hey, you know what? There's a rumor going around in the south of France here that things might be happening. Bonaparte stuffs is going down. Maybe. And this might be a rumor, but the dude who's telling me, I tend to trust. So we maybe shouldn't discard this out of hand, Mr. King. And the king's like, yeah. I'm doing shit here. I'm working on my little annotations. That's essentially what's happened so far. The king seems very nonchalant, a little distracted, impervious to a threat to him. Is that how he has to act? Maybe. He can't seem threatened. Otherwise, it will instill a lack of confidence in his ability to rule. Maybe. I would say that it's more hubris, because this is a trusted servant, I assume. So he can be a little more forthcoming with receiving the information. That's neither here nor there. That's all that's happening so far. But let's also do a little breakdown of what the king is doing here, his little crossword puzzle of sorts. He is annotating in a specific edition, which we broke down last time, of Horace. And this is a Latin. Everything I'm saying, the Canimus surdis, that the pastor cum traheret, oh boy, mala ducis a vidu mum. My God, these are all Latin quotations, and they mean we sing to the deaf when the shepherd dragged his flock, and where's the other one? The evils of the grandfather bring ruin to the house of the leader. But let's break this down for a second. Who is Horace? Pronounced or spelled Horace, Horace, maybe. He was a Roman poet, and I was just kind of curious, like, okay, why? Dumas clearly doesn't do anything, by chance here. He's not doing things randomly, so why Horace here? And I'm just going to say Horace because I'm American and not a Frenchman from 1840s France. So why Horace, and what is the king's obsession with Horace, the poet? I just did a tiny bit of research. Again, caveat this with, I'm not an expert here, folks. Please stop writing in, asking me for my expertise. I'm not an expert. I'm saying that full out. Okay, that in mind, the research I did, and my understanding of it is that Horace represented a sort of order and tradition that, because King Louis is trying to restore the monarch after the tumultuous times that Napoleon caused, that he is looking at Horace as a beacon of philosophy, let's just say. And so he is maybe annotating in this thing, writing down things like, yes, this is a poet of principle, and France, we need voices like this again, or, that he is writing down that this is the golden rule. This is an ideal strength of monarchy that Horace is writing about here. However, Dumas, I think, is working in layers, saying that the king, in annotating this, is looking to more find information that supports his current cause, rather than looking at things in a way that can affect it. What I mean by that is, like, he is looking for a way to intellectualize the existing power that he is striving to exercise, rather than looking for ways in which to exercise it meaningfully. The difference being the end justifies the means versus the means justifying the end, if that makes any sense. And I guess all of that to say that this is a little bit of a satire on the king. A light satire, just a little satire. Not enough that I think would piss anyone off, but maybe. Apparently at a certain point, the monarch did not end up liking Dumas very much, and he ended up having to leave France, I think. I'll get into that later in more detail. Take everything I say with a grain of salt right now. Oh boy. So, yeah. Just a messy episode for me today. I apologize for that. We'll get, you know what? I'm just knocking some of the rust off. It's only been a couple days for you. It's been about 2 weeks since I've recorded, so I gotta get back into this. I hope you'll stick with me. We'll see you here tomorrow for a little bit more story, and whatever the king is gonna ask Blacas to hold his hand out for. Is he gonna slap him with a ruler? We'll find out tomorrow. Okay, bye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.